morning. Welcome to our order channel. Today we'll learn about some other basics of Indian polity. And straight away, very good afternoon. Kindly have a look at this. Okay, Indian polity class 2. Functions of the parliament. The basic function of the parliament is framing the legislation or laws. It means the basic and the important function of any parliament is to make laws. To make laws is the important function of the parliament. Okay. This is done by the parliament by passing bills. What is a bill? We will learn after some time. The, the law and action is done in the parliament by passing the bills. A bill is introduced in the parliament and after discussion on it and voting by the houses and with the assent of the president, the bill becomes a law or act. What do you mean by this? Kindly pay attention. A bill is a proposal that is first introduced in any house, and after the introduction, there is a discussion on this. After discussion, there is voting, and then the bill goes to the president. President gives his assent. Then only the bill becomes a law. Without the assent of the president, the bill doesn't act as law. Assent means the signature of the president, the approval of the president. This is must and should for any bill for any law. So finally remember, without the assent of the president, no bill becomes law. Okay? You understand this? First the bill. If the bill is introduced in Lok Sabha, if it is passed, then it is then it goes to the Rajya Sabha. It also passes the Rajya Sabha, then it goes to the president. The president gives his assent, then only it becomes a law. Or the bill is introduced in the Rajya Sabha, if it is passed in the Rajya Sabha, then it goes to the Lok Sabha, and then president comes into the picture. President gives his assent, then only it becomes a law. In every aspect, president is the must and should. He should give his assent. That is the approval. Then only the bill becomes the law. This means a bill becomes a law only with the assent or the approval of the president. Okay, next. Now let us know what is a bill. A bill is a proposal. Okay, a bill is a proposal. It is a proposal that is introduced in any house of the parliament. Okay, so next. What are the categories of the bill? What are the various types of the bill? Let us know. Depending on who introduces the bill, may be divided into two categories. It means depending on the persons who are introducing the bill may be two types. They are public bills and private bills. Kindly remember, very important, public bills and private bills. Remember, the bills are introduced only by the members of the parliament and not by a non-member. It means, wait a minute, sorry. Okay, let's continue. The bills are introduced only by the members of the parliament and not by a non-member. It means the bill is only introduced by the member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. They only can introduce a bill. Bill cannot be introduced by a non-member or outsider. Okay, MP, member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, member of Parliament means okay. Any member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha may be appointed as a minister. A minister can be appointed from both the houses. Okay, next. Every person not a member of two houses can become a minister according to the constitution, but he has to become a member of either house or Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha within 6 months of his appointment. Very, very important. Kindly remember that any member can become a minister, but he has to become a member of either houses, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, within a period of 6 months. 6 months. Within 6 months he has to be elected for Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. It is very very important point. Kindly remember. Next, what is public bills? The bills are introduced by the ministers are called public bills. Remember this? The bills that are introduced by the ministers, not by a member, they are only introduced by the ministers. That means the government. They are called the public bills. Next, private bills. The bills that are introduced by the member of the parliament other than the ministers are called the private bills. It means the bills that are introduced by the members of the parliament other than the ministers. It means other than government uh, of the government, remaining members other than the ministers that are introduced, they are called the private bills. Next, there are some important points. Let look at some of these points. You study for your own, and remember, we'll have a detailed discussion when we come up to these points: fundamental duties, fundamental rights, panchayat raj, municipalities. Okay, fundamental duties, Part 4A and Article 51A of the Constitution. They are added to the Constitution to 42nd Amendment. Fundamental duties, Part 4A and Article 51A. Fundamental rights. At the beginning there are seven, but at the 44th Constitutional Amendment 1978, one fundamental right was removed, that is right to property. Today we have six fundamental rights. Panchayat Raj came into through 73rd Amendment. Municipalities 74th Constitutional Amendment. Okay. Next, we come to our class. It is depending on the nature or content of the bills. They are classified into ordinary bills, money bills, constitutional amendment bills. Three types. Based on who is introducing the bill, there are two types: public bills and private bills. The nature or content of the bill, they are classified into ordinary bills, money bills, constitutional amendment bills. And here's important point: money bills are introduced only a public member. That means only ministers. The money bills that takes like a budget, something. Money bills are introduced only public member. That means only the ministers. According to the nature of the bill, may be passed by simple majority or by the special majority. What is simple majority? What is special majority? We will learn after some time. According to the nature of the bill, that means if it is an ordinary bill, it is passed by a simple majority. If it is a money bill, it is passed by a simple majority. But when it comes to the constitutional amendment bills, They are passed by the special majority. Okay, depends. Ordinary bills and money bills can be passed by simple majority, but the constitutional amendments must be passed by special majority. Kindly understand and remember carefully. Okay, now what is simple majority? It means at least half of the members are present and voting supporting the bill. Simple majority. Kindly look at this. Means at least half of the members are present and voting supporting the bill. It means if there are 500 members, there should be half of the members. That means 250 members are to be present. Oh, simple majority. Sorry. Simple majority. It means half of the members are present. It means if the wait a minute. Okay, okay. Let me type something here. Okay. In Lok Sabha, out of 550 members, if there are 500 members are present, then 250, 250 members has to support the bill. 500 members present. Then 250 members has to support the bill by voting. 250 votes has to be secured by the bill. Then only the bill can be declared as passed. That is the meaning of this. Okay. That is quorum. 1 by 10th of the total. 1 by 10th of the total. It means is by 550 out of 550. It is 1 by 10th of the people has to be present during the discussion. Otherwise, we can't introduce a bill in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Quorum. Quorum has to be present for every discussion. Otherwise, the session is the session is borrowed. Okay. Wait a minute. We will learn after some time what is quorum exactly. Next, special majority. According to the Article 368, 50% of the total members must be present. 2 by 3rd members supporting the bill, but the members supporting the bill shouldn't be less than the 50% total strength of the House. Means, for special majority, according to Article 368, 50% of the total strength. That means if there are 250 members, the 250, 50% of the total members must be present, and 2 by 3rd members of supporting the bill. Of 50% members present, the members were 2 by 3rd members supporting the bill. Means they have to vote, sorry, they have to vote in support of the bill, but the members supporting the bill should not be less than 50% of the total strength of the House. Because it is very, very difficult to pass this bill, constitutional amendment bill. It is highly difficult. It is highly difficult because we can't amend the constitution as a cakewalk. The framers of the constitution made like this to secure the constitution. Okay. For example, if the 540 members are present, 2 by 3rd, 363 has to support the bill, and then it should be more than the 50% of the total members of the House. That is the meaning of this special majority. Okay. And we look at this and understand carefully. 545 members out of the 2 by 3rd means 363 members has to support the bill. That is 50% of the total members of the house. That is more than 50%. Kindly remember. Okay. Next, what are ordinary bills? An ordinary bill can be first introduced in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. It means we can introduce an ordinary bill either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. An ordinary bill can be introduced by a public member or a private member. It means they can be introduced by a minister or the normal member of any house. Prior recommendation of the president is not necessary to introduce a ordinary bill. Prior recommendation means prior permission of the president was not necessary to introduce an ordinary bill. Ordinary bill. Okay. Simple majority is required to pass the bill. For ordinary bill, simple majority is enough to pass the bill. In case of deadlock, joint session of the parliament is summoned or it means organized. Summoned means organized by the president. Okay. Joint session. Joint session means both the houses are sitting together and discussing together and voting together. It's called joint session. It is summoned by the president and presided by the speaker of the Lok Sabha. What is deadlock? Okay, we'll learn about the deadlock. What is deadlock? Deadlock is a situation where a bill is passed first by the House and rejected by the second House. In this case, President summons the joint session of the Parliament, where the members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha still sit together and vote for the bill, preceding by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. If the bill is passed by simple majority, then the President gives the assent. Otherwise, the bill is considered to be rejected. Okay. Okay. We will take an example. If the bill is passed in Lok Sabha, introduced in Lok Sabha and passed by the Lok Sabha, but Rajya Sabha rejects the bill, it means it, uh, it means the case when one house passes the bill and the other house rejects the bill. This situation is called deadlock. During this situation, President President summons means organizes a joint sitting of the Parliament, and the joint sitting is presided over by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Important, kindly pay attention. And the joint sitting is permitted only for the ordinary bills. Joint sit- Joint sitting is only permitted for ordinary bills, not for money bills, not for constitutional amendment bills. The ordinary bill can be sent back by the president for reconsideration. The ordinary bills can be sent back by the president for reconsideration. It means if both the houses passes the bill, but the president feels that the bill has some issues, the president can send back for reconsideration. If the bill is presented to the president for the second time, but that means he can send back the bill for reconsideration for first time. But in the second time also, then the president must give his assent. The second time also, if the bill passes, then the president has to give his assent. It means he has to approve the bill. That is the meaning of this. Next, money bills. To introduce a money bill, the prior permission of the president is a must. To introduce a money bill, prior permission of the president is a must. Prior permission, prior approval of the president is a must. A money bill must be introduced first in the Lok Sabha. Ordinary bill can be introduced both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but a money bill must be introduced first in the Lok Sabha because Lok Sabha is also called as House of People's Representatives. They are directly elected members, so a money bill has to be introduced first in the Lok Sabha. This should be introduced by a public member, that means the minister, and not by a private member. It means only introduces the Lok Sabha first and by only a public member. Minister can only introduce a money bill, like the budget or something, not by a private member. Any member of the parliament cannot introduce, only a minister can introduce the money bill. Simple majority is sufficient to pass the money bill. Like the ordinary bill, simple majority is sufficient to pass the money bill. The bill must be passed in the Lok Sabha with simple majority. The bill must be passed by the Lok Sabha with simple majority. Lok Sabha, in Lok Sabha, it has to be passed with simple majority, and then it goes to Rajya Sabha. But Rajya Sabha cannot vote on money bills. It can only discuss. Rajya Sabha has no right to vote on money bills. The Rajya Sabha must consider the money bill within 14 days. It means it has to consider the money bill within 14 days. There is no joint sitting for passing the money bill since Rajya Sabha has no power to vote the bill. As simple as that, joint sitting is not permitted because Rajya Sabha don't vote on money bills. The President of India cannot send back the money bill for reconsideration since the money bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha with the prior permission of the President. The bills are introduced in the Lok Sabha with the prior permission of the President, hence he cannot send back it for reconsideration. Next, constitutional amendment bills. These can be introduced by a public member or a private member. It means it can be introduced by a minister or a member of the parliament. The prior permission is not necessary for introducing these bills. Prior permission of the president is not necessary. These bills must be passed by both the houses separately with a special majority. It means both the houses must vote on constitutional amendment bills and not by simple majority. The bill has to be passed with a special majority. In case of deadlock, there is no provision for the joint session of the parliament. It means if a bill is passed in one house and is not passed in the other house, there is no provision for joint session. Constitutional amendment bills, there is no provision for joint session of the parliament. The president cannot send back the bills for reconsideration. President must approve